Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Cunha. I'm doing this quick video to show you how to compose or how to complete your book review podcast. So you are going to have all of this information that you see on your screen in Google Classroom. So you're going to have a document that is all yours with your name, and you'll be able to edit, and all of the resources that I'm going to go through in this video are found on Google Classroom as well. So let's begin. So I'm pretty sure that you have heard of what podcasts are. So it's just like listening to the radio, but rather than listening to music, you're listening to people have conversations about different topics. There's many different types of podcasts. There are podcasts about sports, about movies, about television shows, and also even about books. So what we're going to do is we are going to pretend that we are now we have our own podcast, and our podcast is all about book reviews. So throughout the year, every so often, we will have a podcast that's due, and our first one is coming up. So I wanted to show you exactly what it is that you need to include, how to record yourself, and then how to submit it or turn it in. So on Google Classroom, let's start that. Sorry guys. Okay, so on Google Classroom, you have this PowerPoint that you see on your screen right now. You're gonna have your name at the top because everyone's gonna have their own copy. And everything that's on here, obviously we have the cover page. So you're going to give your podcast a name. So it can be book reviews with blank, right? Whatever your name is. So it can be book reviews with Mrs. Cunha, or maybe you can be even more creative, all about books, or find out all the new popular books here with Mrs. Cunha. Whatever it is, be creative. You're probably going to be more creative than my examples were that I just gave you. So you're going to create a name for your podcast show, and that's what you're going to include here, okay, where you see my mouse here. Then here you're going to add your name. So you're going to delete this, and you're going to add your first and last name. So book reviews with, and then first and last name. The second slide has all of the tools that you need. This video that you're seeing right now will also be included on here. So the how-to video, I will link that on your document so you always have it saved. So let's take a look at all of these tools that we have. So I created a graphic organizer to help you organize your ideas. We'll take a look at that together. I'm also giving you the website that you need to use to record yourself. Okay, it's very, very simple to use, and it'll always be linked here so that you can use it. I also gave you examples of podcasts, okay? So Ms. Fusco and I created an example, and we want to share that with you so that you always have to refer to. Whoops. And then we're also giving you the rubric, okay? This is the rubric that we're using to give you your grade, okay? So if you include everything that you're supposed to include, you're going to get a perfect grade. So we'll take a look in detail at the rubric in a second. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at the graphic organizer. So when you click on here, it opens up. So this is a new document. It's going to take you to the document. And everything on here, you can't edit this. So if you wanted to edit this, if you wanted to use this to kind of type out what you're going to say, you definitely could do that. And I think that's a great idea. If you wanted to do that, if you click on File and then make a copy, it's going to make a copy of this, and then you can edit it. Okay, and then it's going to be on your Google Drive. So here is just a graphic organizer that helps you organize your ideas before you start recording yourself. You don't want to just start recording yourself without having any idea of what you're going to say. So you need to have a plan. You may type it out just like if you make a copy of this document, or you can have it on sticky notes. You can have it written on a piece of paper, like notebook paper. That's totally up to you. You don't have to turn anything in that's written, okay? But you need to have a plan, right? You need to have a plan of what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, when you're going to say it, all that good stuff, okay? So let's take a look. So you need to have an opening message. You need to grab the reader's attention. Be creative with this. You can even include music, right, at the beginning, just like in a movie, you have music at the beginning. I think that would be such a great idea. So that's one suggestion. And then after your opening, you want to begin by giving the information on your book. So today I'm reviewing, well, first of all, you also want to introduce yourself, right? And that kind of goes with the opening message. You might have a music playing in the background, and then you might like lower it down and then introduce yourself, introduce the name of your podcast, all that good stuff, right? Your opening. Then you're going to start by saying, today I'm reviewing blank, written by blank, right? And I'm in parentheses is the information that you should include there. So you do need to state, obviously, the book title and the author. Then the next bullet says, you're going to include the main setting. Yes, obviously we're all reading novels, or chapter books, so they are going to have multiple settings, and that's okay. You want to pick maybe a couple of the main settings, okay? And then you want to talk about who the main characters are, what their names are, and then you also want to explain, this is very important, these two bullets are probably going to be the ones that you spend the most time on, because you need to explain the main setting, the characters, what happens in the book, right? You want to include the main events or the main topics that are present in the book. So you want to explain the plot, right? Like, what was the book like at the beginning, the middle, and the end? So you want to include all those details. You also want to include what the main conflict was. Yes, there might be more than one conflict. That is totally understandable in a novel, but you want to pick the main conflicts and you want to talk about those, right? So these are some ways to start. These are like sentence starters that you could use. Then once you're done talking about the book, this is basically like a summary of the book. Once you're done with that, the next bullet says, this book reminds me of blank, right? You can make a connection to another book, to yourself, to the world, right? Anything. So any connections that you make, you want to give it in great detail. So make a connection to the book. What does this book or this story remind you of? Then the next information is obviously your rating, okay? So you could be honest, right? Did you like this book? Did you not like this book? You want to give it a rating of 1 to 5 stars. Obviously, 5 stars being the max, that means it was great, right? And you also want to explain why you're giving it whatever amount of stars and why you liked it or why you disliked it, okay? Be specific and give details in this part. And then the last bullet, right? This is like your whole thing besides the closing, but this is like the chunk or the main part of your podcast. You want to include who you might recommend this book to, right? And explain why. And then the closing message, that's the ending. So your ending, you want it to be memorable. You want to be creative. You want to make sure that you really grab the reader's attention or the listener's attention, actually. You can end with music. So maybe you started with music. You can end with the same song or the same music. You don't want the whole song. I don't want to hear the whole song, right? But maybe just like the chorus or maybe just a part of the song that you really enjoy. Maybe you can even find a song that kind of goes together with the theme of your book, right? Or the topic of your book. So to be creative with that. And you want to end also by saying something like, join me next time when I share, other great books, something like that. So you want to be creative with your ending as well. So your closing message. So this is yours to use to help you organize your ideas. All of these things need to be stated, okay? So you do need to mention all these things in your podcast. So let's go back. Now, I'm going to show you how to record yourself, okay, in a second, not yet. I'm going to show you what else you need to do besides recording yourself, right? Besides using all the information that we just read in the graphic organizer. So notice there's a lot of blank documents that all look the same, right? So every time you have a podcast due, that means one slide. So you're going to start with slide 4 because that's the blank one. Slide 3 just gives you a description of what to include, all right? So let's take a look at slide 3. Obviously, the first thing here is the book title and author. So on the left side of this slide, that's this side here, right? So the first part, you're going to include the following. You're going to include pictures of the cover. You might include a picture of the book. This third part gives you extra points. You might include a picture of yourself reading the book. You can take a selfie of you reading the book. I'm going to show you how to do that. On this side, you also want to include a quote from the book. And remember that if you include a quote, you must use quotation marks, right? Because they are not your words. You might, sorry, it keeps going back to the next slide or the previous one. You might also even include pictures of how many stars you rated this book. Remember, 5 is the max amount of stars. And you want to include a sentence of your review, right? Very simple, like your final thoughts on the book. Then on the right side, that's this side here where the iPad is, you see this little speaker. This is where you're going to link your voice, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to show you the website that we use is this one here. So, whoops. Vocaru, that's the website that we use to record ourselves. I'm going to show you how to do that. But this is where you're going to link it, okay? So for December's book review, you're going to work on slide 4. Then maybe in January or in February, I might give you another podcast book review, so then you'll do it on the 5th. So you're always going to use this document. I know I included a lot of them. We might not fill all of them, but I wanted you to have extra copies just in case, okay? So let me show you an example first. So this is my example. So I did my podcast on the day you begin, okay? So I just wanted to show you, and you can also click on it. See, I already linked it. You can listen to that on your own to see an example. But I wanted to show you what the paper or the slide looks like. So I have the title, and you could change the font, okay? Because this is a project, so you can be creative with the colors, the fonts, all of that. There's no like specific requirements that you have to follow as far as fonts and colors. So I included the cover of the book, right? See how I put it slanted? You could do that as well. You don't have to put it straight. I included the author, and I added a subtitle, right? Which you should do as well. I included a quote from the book, and then I included my stars. So I looked up on Google 5 stars, and I found this one with blinking stars. You could do that as well. And then I just added my final thoughts, like my recommendation or my thought of the book. And then I added a picture of myself with the book. So that's a selfie, okay? On the second slide, there's another example. So you don't have to do it this way, right? You can do it this way. You can be creative. So this page here, the first or the left side, is where you're going to be creative. So here, Ms. Fusco included the picture of the book. She included her statement and her 5 stars up here rather than on the bottom like mine. She also included an actual picture from the book, and she's showing, remember with the invisible boy, like the pictures were very important, right? Because he was black and white because he felt like he wasn't noticed, and then he was noticed, so she included that. She included the author, so you can use arrows as well, okay? So we'll show you how to do that as well, okay? So these are examples for you to use. Let's go back. Now, I'm going to show you this website and how to record yourself. So you open up the website, and to record yourself, it's super easy. So this is the website. It opens up just like this. You're gonna click there, and it starts recording you right away. Right now, it's recording me, okay? So you're gonna keep talking. If you have music, you can have music playing in the background, and then pause it, and then come back. You're only going to click the button in the middle when you're completely done. You may also pause it. So right now I paused it. Maybe I ran out of things to say, or I need to find my paper, so I paused it, and then I can continue.
Click there.
Oh, it actually doesn't want me to continue. Sorry. So you can't continue. Sorry, that was my mistake. So you can't pause it. So you have to be prepared, right, before you start recording yourself. Once you're done, you can listen to yourself again. Don't forget to save it first, right? So you can save, and then you can click play and hear yourself. If you like it, perfect, you keep it. If you feel like, oh man, I forgot to say something, or something doesn't sound right, you can record yourself again. You can keep doing it until you are completely satisfied with how it sounds. So once you click save, this opens up. You have this link. You're gonna click on the link, make sure it's highlighted. You're gonna right click, copy. Okay, you have to copy this link. And then you're gonna go back to your podcast. So let's say this is the paper that I'm doing. I'm gonna click on the little speaker because I have to add it here. So how do I do that? I'm gonna click on the speaker, and then up here I'm gonna go to insert. Then I'm gonna go to link. And remember, you can stop this video. You can pause this video at any time if you need to, follow step by step. So insert link. And then this opens up. So now I want to paste the link here. Okay, paste it, apply. Now I always want to make sure that it's saved. So I'm going to click it again. Now I'm going to click it and it should open up. Let's see if it's good.
Click there.
And there's my voice.
Recording you right away, right now.
Okay, so it's good. All right, so it's perfect. Let's say you did that and you're like, you know what? I don't like that one. I want to redo it. You can do that as well. So you can click on it. I thought I included it. Oh, it's there. Once you click on it, there it is. So if you click on it again, let's say you want to delete it because you want to redo it. You want to record yourself all over again. You can just click this to remove the link, okay? Or you could do the same thing, go into insert, link, and then you could just delete it from there, okay? So that's one way to do that. So once you're done with that, then you can work on this side, right? And you want to be creative with all those things. If you want to take a selfie of yourself, I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you go to insert, and then you're going to click on images, then you're going to go to camera. It's going to open up the camera. So you're going to see Miss Quenya on the screen. Here I am. So you're going to hold the book. Let's say this is the book that I'm doing. I'm going to hold it. You're going to smile. And then you click there, and there's the picture. So then you're going to click insert, right? If you're happy with that picture, you can make it smaller, obviously. How to make it slanted, like I was showing you before. You do it this way, right? Or whichever way you want. Whatever it is you want to do, okay? So I'm going to exit out from there. Remember that you also need to include a cover of the book. So to include a cover, you have to go to Google Images, and you have to then copy and paste it onto the page that you're on, okay? So that's it. If you have any questions or if you're confused or you can't figure something out, remember you can always reach Miss Quenya on Google Classroom. I wanted to show you just very quickly the rubric, okay? So you could do this on your own time as well. It's linked here. So this way you know exactly what we expect from you. This is the rubric we're using to grade you. So it's a total of 100 points. The script, if you notice, there's a lot of points for the script. So that's basically what you are saying, right? Your recording also obviously is also very important, right? Your voice and creativity. Your creativity alone is just 10 points. So it's very important to be creative. So that means, maybe you included a song at the beginning or a sound effect. Your pictures are nice and neat on your document. So things like that. So everything obviously has points. So this is yours for you to see exactly what we expect. What I recommend is like the day before it's due, take a look at what you did and what you have and compare it to the rubric and see if you are going to get an A+. Okay, boys and girls? That's it. So I hope that this video was useful. Remember, you can go back and view it at any time. Okay, boys and girls? See you soon.